So the release of FIFA 23 is now right around the corner, and as a result of that, the official championship ratings were recently revealed, and in today's video I'm going to be going ahead and checking them out for the first time. I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Who from your club do you think has been underrated by EA on the new FIFA, and who do you think has maybe been a little bit overrated? So for context, I have seen the Preston ratings, but for the rest of the championship I'll be going into this one pretty fresh really, and all these ratings will be completely new to me. If you do go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like, but without any further ado, let's dive into the ratings. So we'll go through the championship players from the highest to lowest rated. Coming in as the outright highest rated player on FIFA 23 in the championship is Mario Gaspar. Now, the thing to take into consideration with these ratings is, first of all, I think with the championship you always have to take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt, because EA never really puts all too much focus on the lower leagues in England, and also the fact that these ratings are based upon last season's performances as well. So Mario Gaspar, haven't really got to see all too much of him in a Watford shirt so far, but he's coming in with a 78 rate card, obviously brings a big reputation with him. Zach Stefan, 77 rated, going off his performances so far this season. I think that's pretty overrated, but you can check out my goalkeeper ranking video that I did the other week. In the top rated players, a lot of the gold cards that we do have, it is expected to be a lot of the newly relegated teams and their players popping up this sort of list. Ben Brereton, deservedly so, having his upgrade to a 75 after the season he had last season. Sander Berge, interesting that his position's CDM. Certainly don't see him as a defensive midfielder anymore, but 75 rated for him. Two good upgrades here, Jed Wallace 75 and John Swift as well. Much deserved after their fantastic seasons with their clubs from last time around. Now we go ahead and get into some of the silver players. Wes Foderingham, deserved upgrade. I think he was a 71 on the last FIFA, 74 this time around. One of the most consistent shot stoppers in the championship since he's been promoted to that #1 spot at Sheffield United. So I think that's deservedly so. Freddie Woodman, North End's highest rated player at 74. I think deserved given his start to the season so far. I think as we get into some of the silver ratings, that is where some of the more interesting and maybe underrated ratings do start to crop up really. One that springs off the page immediately is Andy Weimann, 73 rated. He was one of the most prolific outlets in the championship last season, and there's an argument that he could be easily bumped up a couple ratings from a 73. I think that's a small upgrade from his cards last time around. Lucas João, I always maintain the fact, for me, one of the best strikers in the championship. I think he was 73 rated on last year's game as well. Only thing that goes against him is his injury record. Missed a lot of football last season, and when that tends to happen, EA are always a little bit more stingy with going ahead and upgrading. Yet even if you do put in a series of good performances in that time, Chris Willett coming in with 73, he has a case for being a little bit higher than that for me as well, given his previous performances. O'Hare with a 73, Zian Fleming coming in with a 73 as well. Oscar Estupiñán, the current championship top scorer, 73 rated non-rare. Manuel Benson, got to be one of the best dribblers in the championship, and I'm glad that that's been reflected by his 79 rated dribbling there. He looked like a really lively outlet against Preston. Nice upgrade here for Joel Perreault, coming in with a 73 rating. Another one from last season who has an argument maybe to be a rating or two higher than that as well. Good upgrade here for Isaiah Jones, coming in with a 73. Billy Sharp still going strong, of course. Lee Nichols with a 72. Arguably, he should at least be a 73, maybe even pushing a 74. One of the best goalkeepers in the championship from last season, but he has had an upgrade to his card. Patrick Bauer, who is regularly the slowest player on FIFA, 32 pace just makes him absolutely unusable. Daniel Bachmann, given his start to the season so far, pretty harshly done by with a 72, one of the best goalkeepers in the championship for me. A couple of the North End boys coming in at 72 rated, with Alan Brown and Ryan Ledson. Matt Clark also in there as well. Elijah Adebayo could be a little bit higher than a 72. Harry Souttar, really unfortunate with that injury last season. Had that not happened, I think he should have been substantially higher than a 72. But another one whose pace has been absolutely butchered. 39 pace for Harry Souttar. Just makes him absolutely unusable. Ahead Mahosa Terzic should be higher than a 72, way higher. He could be pushing on the gold card, given how he started this season so far. A few other regular championship performers who we've got in and around this mark as well. Dropping down around the 71 mark now, these are the sort of players who we've got coming in at this stage. The one player who I'm surprised about is Ben Whiteman, only at a 71, sheerly for the fact that he's lower rated than Alan Brown, Daniel Johnson and Ryan Ledson, when Whiteman is probably our best and most consistent midfielder, but he's been given a rating lower than all of those players. Christian Bielik, obviously top player when he is fit, he's been given a 71 rating for this FIFA. Daniel Barlays are coming in at 71. Scott Twine has been given a little bit of a boost in his rating from last season to a 71, still yet to really see anything of him in the Burnley shirt. Hope to see a little bit more of him after this international break. Elyse Cherb, do feel as if it's been done a little bit dirty, to be honest, given some of the players that are higher rated than him. Him only coming in with a 71 rating, I feel like is way below his capabilities when you compare him to the rest of the championship. Emile Rees coming in at a 71. Maybe a 72 based off last season, but around about that mark. Ekpiteta coming in at 71, deservedly so, he got an upgrade. João Pedro, this one's a little bit controversial, only 71 rated. Now, I get that, you know, going off his numbers last season in the Premier League, I think he only scored 3 goals last season. Based off that, it would have been, you know, maybe hard for EA to go ahead and really bump up his rating based off last season. But when you compare João Pedro and how good he is to the rest of the championship and the rest of the players that are higher rated than him, it does look a little bit silly. You know, João Pedro is way better than 71 rated. You know, he's one of the best players in the championship, and that new contract at Watford was absolutely massive news for them. Sorba Thomas, good upgrade for him. He's been bumped up to a 71 after the good season that he had last time around. Matty Godden in at a 70, could have been higher rated had he not had those injuries last season. We do get some interesting ratings popping up around about the 70 mark though, because we do start to get into some players who I do think have been a little bit undervalued by EA going off a few of these ratings. Andy Hughes at Preston, for one of them, only 70 rated. I think he's been our most consistent centre-half for quite some time now. I think there's a case for him being higher rated than Patrick Bauer, if I'm being honest. Donald Fisher, who I've just completely forgotten about, he's fallen off the face of the earth since moving to Middlesbrough because of that long-term injury that he's had to endure. Ollie McBurney, 70 rated. Bacuna in at Birmingham. Do you know what? Could be higher rated than 70. He was their best player last season, certainly in the second half of last season after he joined. Grayden Garner, a downgrade from last season. I think he was a 71 on the last FIFA. Probably fair, given the season that he had last time wasn't his finest. He'll be looking to get back onto form this time around. Some other interesting ratings around about this 70 mark. Alan Campbell could easily be higher rated than that 70 rating he's got there. Campbell maybe, had it not been for the injury. Semenyo definitely think should be higher than a 70 rated. He's coming off the back of his best season in terms of output from last season. Loads of Premier League interest in him as well. I think he should be higher rated than that. Michael Obafemi, yeah, around about that 70 mark. I think it is an upgrade from last season, isn't it? Really came alive during the second half of last season. The Sunderland pair here, Ballard and Ross Stewart, both could and maybe should be higher than that 70 mark that they're currently at as well. Ian Matston could easily be higher than 70 rated. Quite a bump up there for Tyree Stolen, coming in at 70 this time around. Robbie Brady, given the start to the season that he's had, I know these are based off last season, but I think should be higher rated than 70. Case for him being Preston's highest rated player in my opinion. Rodrigo Muniz coming in at 70 rated. He's the last 70 rating that we've got in the championship, and then we drop down into the high 60s. Who have we got in and around this mark? Tom Ince, whose FIFA rating has continued to sort of dwindle. 69 rated. To be fair, in a Reading shirt has looked like a transformed player, given the player that he looked like at Stoke. So yeah, long may that continue from his point of view. Chloe Woodrow, only 69 rated. Probably didn't have his finest year last time around, but he could easily be pushing for a little bit higher than that. In and around the 69 mark, yeah, we do have some really fascinating ratings there. Keshi Anderson coming in at 69 for this FIFA. A couple towards the bottom of the page have intrigued me though. Hando Masengo for me should be way higher than 69 rated. I think the guy just absolutely oozes class class and is, yeah, far better than that. Jacob Greaves, definitely higher than 69 rated. Same for Taylor Harwood-Bellis as well. I think the pair of them should be higher than that. Ilman Ndiaye, definitely higher than 69 rated, given his start to the season and that's what he showcased from last time as well. Josh Sargent has been massively downgraded from last season. I mean, he wasn't great for Norwich in the Premier League, but all the way down at 68 does seem a little bit harsh given how he started the season, but I know it's not based on that. Another one that comes as a little bit of a surprise is Marcelino Nunes at Norwich, only 68 rated. The guy's looked like an absolute baller in the Championship so far this season, so yeah, that one's a big surprise. Nathan Tella all the way down as a 67 as well. I would have thought he would have been a little bit higher than that. Ali McCann, only a 67. Suppose he didn't get all too many opportunities last season to really showcase just how good he actually is. Sayed Mandesh at Hull as well, only 67 rated. It is criminal that Richard Wood only has 35 for shooting, given how many he's already scored so far this season, but he's coming in with a 66 rating. Daniel Grimshaw's rating at just 65, I think is really harsh given the season he had for Blackpool last time around. Should be way higher than that. I can't help but feel like Regan Slater's been done really dirty here. A bronze card, only 63 rated. Patterson, another one at Sunderland, only 62 rated, given how well he finished last season for Sunderland and how he's taken to the Championship. Alvaro Fernandez, only being 62 rated as well, and those stats don't reflect on him too kindly. But guys, there we have it. Those are my reactions to the FIFA ratings. I would like to get your guys' verdicts on them in the comments down below. Anyone who you think's been massively under or overvalued by EA, do let me know down below. Apart from that though guys, that will wrap it up for today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one.